Greetings, welcome back to the What's New video series for the AtHomeNet Classic Community Website Service. Today I'll be going over the new enhancements that we're releasing for May 2009. We have a nice batch of enhancements for this month, so let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to log into our demo website as an administrator. And the first group of enhancements relates to our email bulletin feature, so I'm going to go ahead and go to email bulletins. If I go to create a custom template or to modify one of our built-in templates and I want to save it as a custom template, we now allow you to save custom templates without actually sending an email bulletin. So let's say, for example, that I wanted to pull up maybe our graduation built-in template, but I wanted to make some changes to that template to customize it for our community. Maybe I wanted to go ahead and put our community tagline here, or replace this information so I could use it again next year. You'll see now that we have this option to save template without sending. So all you'd have to do in that case is make the changes that you wanted to make, give the template a new name, and we'll call it Custom Graduation, and I can simply save template without sending. And the next time I go back into the email bulletin feature, I'll have that template in my custom template list, and again, I didn't have to send the email bulletin to make the changes. The other enhancement we made to email bulletins is you may be aware that when you go in to send an email bulletin, at the end of sending it, it will give you the option to generate a mailing label file for all those residents who may not have an email address in their user profile. We're now allowing you as the administrator to control the security level that gets to see that option. Some of our communities wanted to restrict that so that it wasn't available to non-administrators. So if you would like to do that, you can simply call or email support and tell them what security level you want to be able to see the export mailing label option, and we will take care of that for you. The next enhancement we made was in the user profile area under subscriptions, and several months back we added this ability for your residents or you to go in here as an administrator and check a box that says that this particular resident doesn't even get email bulletins sent to all. Now what we've done this month is give you a little bit more control over who can do this. So if you don't want your residents to be able to turn this feature off themselves, and only you want to change it as an administrator, we can set your website such that it controls what security level sees this sent to all flag and what security level can turn it on and off. So if you don't want your residents to be able to turn this feature off for themselves, you can call us and tell us to restrict this to administrator only, and we can take care of that for you as well. Next, we've got an enhancement in the address book feature itself. And this is really more for condominium associations. You're probably familiar in the past that we've had this click here to list by street name, and that works great for traditional single family homeowner associations, but not so well for a condo association where every unit in the association has the same street address, they just have a different lot number. Now we've added an additional option called list by lot number and unit number, and you as a community can control which of these two options is visible. You can have both of them, or you can have either. Obviously, list by street name makes more sense for homeowner associations, and list by lot number, unit number makes more sense for condo associations. But you can send an email to support and let them know which one of these two options, or if you want both of them to show up, we'll take care of that for you. In this case, if I go ahead and click on the list by lot number, unit number, it doesn't really make a lot of sense in this community because this is a homeowners association, so there's not very many lot unit number information in there. But what it would do is list them in alphabetical or numerical order by lot number or unit number. Moving right along to our next feature, which is in the message board area. A number of people who have both members of the primary members of the household logging into the website, in this case Scott and Christine, wanted the ability to be able to see this information a little easier so that they make sure when they post a message or reply to a message on the message board, it's being marked as coming from them, either Scott or Christine, whichever person's doing it. So we made this message a little bit bigger so it's easier to see up here at the top, and that allows you to switch back and forth while you're working within the site. Next, we have a couple of enhancements in the reservations feature. First, we've had, if I go in here and edit a resource, and I'll just pick the tennis court resource, we've had a number of requests to allow the person who controls reservations or who can approve or deny reservations, allow that person to be either the primary or the secondary person on an account. So now you can do that. You'll see that indicated by the hyphen in front of their name. So that indicates that you have, you can have either primary person or the secondary person on that account be a contact for this resource. And then the other item within reservations is if you go into add, edit, and delete availability for this resource, you are now allowed to start and stop the availability time for a particular resource on the half hour. In the past, you could only do it on the hour, but we had a number of requests for being able to, for example, open the tennis courts at 8:30 in the morning instead of 8 o'clock in the morning. So now you can do that through these drop-down boxes. Next relates to several different features, but they all tie around the rich text editor or the AtHomeNet page editor. You're probably familiar that we're slowly starting to replace the old rich text editor with a newer one. There are advantages back and forth to the two of them. The newer one supports more browsers, but there are some advantages to the older one as far as the speed at which it loads up the pictures if you're going to insert a picture into your feature. So we've added the ability for you to control which rich text editor is used in 3 different features on the website. And those 3 features are the feature description area, the module area, and then finally the rich email bulletins area. If you go into the email bulletins and send under rich format. So in this case, this is the old rich text editor, but if you want to use instead the new rich text editor, you would simply send an email or call into support and tell them that you want the new rich text editor and these 3 features, and we'll turn a flag on so that that's what you get. Finally, the last item, as usual, we've gone ahead and added some additional email bulletin templates that you can use for your community. So we've got 4 new ones this month. One is maybe you can announce your summer reading program in your community. The next one is an ice cream social reminder or notice. The third one is a reminder about speed limits, which we find a lot of communities having to unfortunately send out notices to remind their residents about the speed limit in the community. And then the fourth one, we had specific request for about a more generic traffic law or traffic signage reminder to residents of the community. So we hope that you found something useful or helpful in this month's enhancements, and as always, we encourage your feedback on these enhancements or any bug fixes that you think we need to make. Make sure to email those to support@athomenet.com. And I want to thank you for your time today and for your business. And join us next month to find out what's new with AtHomeNet Classic.